No, you're not seeing double. Thomas has indeed built a very similar, almost matching 40 series over the same sort of time period actually as what Brett did pretty much alongside him, I'm going to be honest. And the end result is similar. It's an absolute work of art. You guys are taking the concept of a full drive build and just elevated it to another level. Very similar build, but you've put your own spin on quite a few different aspects. Run us through the year model and that sort of thing of this, because there are some differences there.
The cab's a 1976.
Yep.
The chassis is a 1996.
Yep.
And the motor came out of 2007. So we each bought 3 complete vehicles and stripped them down to what we need to make this.
True.
Yeah.
I guess when you think about it like that, it sounds even more ridiculous, doesn't it? It's like you need a 79, an 80 series and a 40 series, and you end up with whatever we're going to call this thing. Still working on the title, that's fine. Now, I guess the first and probably the most obvious difference is probably the colour of the front end.
Yeah, so the colour started out as the original green.
Yep.
Faded a bit, but we'll carry it on.
Yeah, still looks sick. Still with the white accents, it looks mad.
Yeah.
It's very tidy. And this was another body restoration job?
Yep, so sandblasted, primered, painted, panel beaded.
Back to Mickey Mouse. Now, one thing that Brett also has on his we didn't talk about, but you've got on here is the widened guards.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people obviously go the big tube guards, which can or cannot sometimes look a little bit silly because they can look like wings, but these are like the original shape, factory looking, but you've widened them.
So the guard's been widened 1.5
Yeah.
either side, just to accommodate the 80 series width, make it look more factory rather than the steel tube guard.
Yeah, I think this is a really nice tidy way to do it. Brett's running 0 offset or positive offset.
Offset.
You're running
0
offset, so a little bit wider.
Slightly wider.
Yeah, cool. But you got some stick rims on this as well. So the front end, steadies again. You don't have the factory bar, you've got something custom.
Yeah, so I built this bit shorter than usual. Approach angle is amazing.
Yeah, it's sick. And then bolts on wings for if you ever need it, but being able to have the tyre exposed like that's pretty sick. Then humongo winch, not hooked up.
It's ready to go, it just needs a bit of oil.
Yeah.
But yeah, waiting for the rebuild kit from the US.
Yep.
Get it rebuilt and should be good to go.
It looks dope. Very much in its home at the front of this car. I think it's a really cool centerpiece for the whole thing. Now we'll have a look under the bonnet. Much the same, but you've done a couple of different tweaks and bits and pieces to this to squeeze a little bit of power out of it.
That's right.
Yeah, sick.
A couple more changes.
Awesome. We'll open the bonnet, we'll have a look. Now this looks very familiar. Looks like we've been here before. It's very similar to Brett's, but with your own Thomas touch. What have you changed?
So for the brakes, we're running a hydro brake booster.
Yep.
Up front, we've got a slightly wider intercooler.
Yep.
Therefore, the condenser had to go up under the tray.
Yeah, I saw that up the back. It's a little sneaky spot for it, but probably better up there than in the front.
It works.
I like it.
Running a high flow Garrett turbo, a bit more spice.
Yeah.
And a Provent catch cans up the front,
Yep.
along with the washer model.
Yeah, so there's a little bit more real estate occupied in the front of this.
Yeah.
Still no battery, that's in the back somewhere.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I like the little the Tomahawk engine cover you got to hide some of Toyota's mess.
Yep.
That is unfortunate with the 1VDs. And this thing's just over 200 horsepower.
Just over 200 horsepower at the wheels with 700 Newton meters.
Fair bit of poke for something that's pretty light.
That's right.
Yeah, so what, 2.4 without the bells and whistles?
2.4 and then fully loaded for touring, we're at 3.1, 3.2.
Yeah, that's probably pretty easy to get up to that sort of 3.1, 3.2 because unlike Brett who tows the trailer, you've got the awning, you've got the rooftop tent, all that sort of stuff permanently on this car.
On the car, yeah.
Gets the job done.
Gets up and goes, yeah.
I like it. Now, attached to this, obviously, probably the same gearbox, I'm assuming, the VDJ 5-speed.
The later models,
Yep.
so taller fifth gear.
Yep, drop the revs a bit.
On the highway, does well.
And then still factory 4.180 series diffs, put lockers in them.
Yep, so Brett's running ARB, I'm running TJM lockers, both twin locked. Front housing, radius arms have been flipped.
Yep.
Braced, running adjustable links.
Yep.
In the rear with the panhydrizer bracket. Yeah.
Awesome.
Helps out.
Yeah, I think it's it's very similar setup to what I had in the Naughty 40 originally, and that thing was so nice to drive. So I have no doubt that this will be the same. And then obviously with the 80 series, you get coils front and rear, you get disc brakes, all that sort of stuff with 700 Newton meters would be a lovely thing to drive, I reckon. I think we should have a look in the cab because you've changed a fair bit in the interior sort of thing. It's definitely less subtle.
Yeah,
it's a bit more in your face in here, but it is definitely a nice place to be. So let's go check that out.
Let's go.
Now again, 40 series cab space is not something that I'm jealous of. This is very cramped, but you've done well with the space that you do have. What are you sitting on? What sort of changes have you done compared to Brett?
So from Brett, 86 Toyota coupe seats.
Yep.
Bit more tighter, making more room.
Yep.
Got a center console and a roof console to match. But as Brett's, power windows, central locking, 79 series dash, shortened down to make fit.
Another big mission.
Yeah.
You and Brett tackle that both yourselves, just nutted it out together.
Yeah, so we wanted to do it in the beginning, from the get-go, just for electrics. Everything ended up being plug and play.
Yeah, nice.
No custom wiring stuff.
Yeah.
Just troubleshooting later on to be easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple gauges down there, exhaust temp, boost, and oil pressure.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on things.
So yeah, you own a 1VD, oil pressure, you
Oil
want to keep an
pressure's
eye on.
key.
Yeah, that's right. It's very tidy in here, I've got to say. The trimmed roof is nice. The way you've done the, I guess, sheet metal roof console as well is really, really tidy too. Then even having like the dash trimmed and padded as well. Soft touches.
Soft touch, make it homey.
Make it homey, absolutely. VDJ wheel.
VDJ wheel for now. Got my hands on a smaller wheel.
Yeah.
Make more room with cruise control. So
Sick.
hopefully soon.
Hook that up and get that working. That'll be very nice. One thing that we'll talk about, only because I only learned this today as well, is obviously Brett's car has got that sort of the front folding quarter glass. This, Toyota decided for a couple of years that they're not going to do that. So this is just one big open piece of goodness.
One sheet of glass.
One sheet of glass, yeah. But it's probably not a bad thing, right? Because I feel like if you want to hang your arm out there and you have the quarter glass, it's sort of in the way a bit, but.
Yeah, it feels bigger in here.
Yeah, definitely. Good to see power windows as well.
Yep.
Little things, right?
Necessities.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's very nice in here. Even all this body color and stuff. Yeah, It looks sick, man. In terms of switches, head unit, UHF, what are you running?
So I got a unit and up top.
Yep.
Full size DIN, Apple CarPlay head unit. Switches, it's just standard air compressor, front rear lockers, a couple lights up top.
Yep.
The gauges down below. But everything else is basic.
Yeah, nice. One thing that I didn't ask Brett about, I'll ask you about, is fuel tank stuff.
Yeah.
What's the tank situation on these?
So both Brett and I are running a front main tank at around 80 litres.
Yep.
And a rear tank at 130.
Okay.
So that's combined 210 roughly.
Yeah, stack of fuel.
It's running the original 79 series wiring. So we got a sub tank switch.
Sick.
Switch between two and two.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And all your buttons and stuff work as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a
Taking
standard
the time.
79 series. Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool. All the attention to detail, even having the sub tank switch and stuff where it's just easy, feels factory, it works, it's reliable, makes a difference, hey?
It does, yeah. You need that reliability out there.
Yeah, big time. I wouldn't know, but maybe one day I will. Let's have a look at this canopy and the tray as well, because I think there's going to be a bit on in here.
Done.
Let's do it. The living quarters. We'll start with the tray and canopy. Built yourself.
Yeah.
Very similar to what we saw on Brett's, yeah. Good to see. It works, it's functional, strong as hell. Underneath, you've got a massive trundle drawer, and that's the condenser we were talking about with the fan on the side of it.
That's right.
What else is hiding under the tray?
50 litre water tank.
Yep.
And batteries on the other side.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Sick. Compressor?
Compressor for the
TJ buffers? Yeah, sick. All under there as well. So we're able to hide all that stuff, hey?
Yeah,
Just get it out of the cab, out of the engine bay, don't have to worry about it. Again, sort of like a 3/4 canopy, which I think looks really good on these things. In here, everything and the kitchen sink. Big upright fridge.
Yep.
Custom pull-out pantry. Just got all your bells and whistles. And you were saying you built this wood setup yourself.
Yeah.
And then nothing was tickling your fancy off the market for one of these sort of pantry setups. So you went and got this custom cut yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it looks good, it works well. You got all the essentials. And then all your cooking gear, bits and pieces all just stashed in here. And it lives on the car, basically ready to go.
Yeah, so it stays on the car.
The canopy's not lift on, right?
No, it's not lift on.
Lives on there. Yeah, sick.
Stays on there, yeah.
Then up on the headboard, electrics wires.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
So we've got an AC charger in the
Yep.
far corner, DC to DC charger beside it from the car charging, and a 600 watt inverter, all monitored by Simmering.
Easy, simple, works.
Works, yeah.
I like it, that's good. What if you sort of, I guess this car's built for those sort of weeks away,
Yeah.
remote, you got enough water on there for a fair while. You got the Taj Mahal up top, so the big roofed up tent and the awning on this thing. So this just stays like this, ready to go at the drop of a hat, basically.
Yeah, so touring for a long time, so the rooftop tent will stay on.
Yeah.
But if you're doing a bit more with the harder tracks and whatnot, rooftop tent will come off.
Yeah.
So that goes on the tray.
Yeah,
keeps the weight low.
Yeah, awesome. I guess that's a good way to do it as well, because you do have a fair bit of tray space still.
Yeah.
This is only a half canopy. whereas Brett's got the full canopy, and then on the other side you've just got a space case, bits and pieces.
That's right.
What's in that?
So in there is my day-to-day running gear. If I go away, it'd be clothing. Small.
Bits and pieces.
Mostly empty though.
Yeah. Nice. You talk about your big, your fancy. I don't even know how to pull this thing up.
So here's my bar. So
it's cool. That's clever.
Pulls out. It's got a drop down underneath. Sink attachments. Stoves under there as well.
Yeah, right.
Out. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, this is a cool way to do it actually, just for the stub axle as well.
Yeah.
It's a good way to do it. I like it. Did you always know when you were setting this up that this is how you were going to do it, or did you just sort of have this space and had to think of a way to use it?
So I always wanted to pull out, but because I went half canopy, I don't have the depth, so I had to incorporate something with the width.
Yeah.
So
clever.
Lifted the fridge up, made the space. Bit hard with making everything carry the weight.
Yeah.
But no issues yet, and it works.
Hanging in there.
Yeah.
That's good. We'll have a quick look at the other side and then call it a day, I reckon. We'll quickly touch on this side, just because we're here, we'll show the people. The Taj Mahal, we'll talk about that quickly, just because what you've done with it is kind of cool. You went out and bought the case, the hard sort of pop cover yourself.
Yeah.
And then did away with the internals and started again.
That's right, yeah. So these usually open up on the short end, swap them around so it opens up on the long end, pops out roughly around a metre.
Yeah.
So you get a bit more shelter during the bad elements.
Yeah, that's nice. Prepared for anything. That's cool. I like the shower tents on the back as well, like change room, whatever else it might be.
Yeah.
Space case we talked about, but this isn't a permanent fixture. You've got something else planned?
Yeah, so we're going to run a slightly bigger toolbox on this side, just housing clothes, tools,
bits and pieces, spare parts or whatever else.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Overall, man, this thing is super tidy. It's you've done a really incredible job. Spare up here. I love how the tray looks. Also, having the half canopy is a really cool design as well, because you get the sort of two different looks, right? You get the ones like the classic Ute, and then the other side with the canopy, and it's just super sick. I really am inspired and sort of motivated to now not finish my 80 and just start another project that is a 40 series related thing. But anyway, that's my cue to leave, I think, before I start making any rash decision. We'll go back to the front, we'll get Brett back in here, and we'll say bye to the fans. But thanks very much for showing us around, man.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Well, that pretty much brings us to the end of one of the longest Us with Sam episodes we've done, but definitely one of the most interesting, with a couple of some of the most modified vehicles and best looking blokes you'll ever see. One question we didn't ask Thomas that we asked Brett was, what's the one thing you'd change about your build if you could only change one thing?
One thing only, a bit more space in the cab.
Okay, interesting. Both of you complaining about space-related activities, so it's that's interesting. You want to know what Brett said? A bit more wheelbase. You want room for you, he wants room for activities and weight loading. It's look, I like it, I respect it. But thank you very much for coming on and showing us the builds, guys. I'll let you guys decide which is your favourite in the comments of this video, and we can start that rivalry that I mentioned at the start. Brett's, Thomas's. I don't think I could choose a favourite out of the two. They're both absolutely sick. As always, do the things that I need you to do. Subscribe, comment, share this with your friends, and we will see you next Thursday.